So we can actually take the same number that first picked us. And if you like a different number, just request it. So what would I create if I weren't so afraid to fall and fell? There's a book calling me, and I've been looking at it and making notes and organizing my thoughts, and still, like, that's what I would create if I couldn't care less about falling and failing. So the 4, what responsibility are you avoiding, Amanda?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm very responsible. I'm not really sure what responsibility I'm avoiding.
Well,
It's in
maybe
the dark.
what you were saying earlier on. Sometimes responsibility might direct you to go to bed and watch TV.
Yeah.
So the responsibility to stop being a slave driver might be a good response.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you for being willing. 5. Who is a 5 who wants to give the 5 a voice?
The child. When I believe that my heart is wounded, what do I believe my parents should have done or not done? I feel that like some of the choices that have resulted in the life that I have today, but I feel it's me, because if I was sure of what do I do next, or if I wanted something very bad, I would have done it, as opposed to blame them for what has been done. I feel me caring for what has been done is because I don't exactly know what I want or where I want to go.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
And I understand that it's really confronting to be asked to blame someone you love. We don't want to do it, or I don't want to do it. But let me ask you that. Was it mom, dad, or both that weren't clear in the direction they were taking? Who was it that was doing exactly?
I think it was both. I think it was both. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So you see, I recognize the generosity to see it's not them, it's me, because ultimately you're right. But there's a part to where
Yes.
you may be resisting what they show you, and therefore make it persist.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So just an addition, and thank you.
Of course, but I'm thinking that to a degree, what their direction was also, like, at that time, at least my direction. It's confusing at times, but I'm also thinking that, okay, sometimes I progress things on my head. For example, okay, I'm disagreeing with let's say my parents. What's the worst that can happen? We could get into a fight, and what after that? Like, potentially not speak, even though, like, I don't see that. But and what if we don't speak? Then I'm alone. And I'm like, thinking, okay, what if you're alone? Well, I have in my head in the the phrase of the in a storm the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I understand, and it's quite a choice to make, to be alone out of having a heart broken. You know, it's like, this hurts too much. I'm just gonna nurture and make my wounds heal. Been there, done that. I understand. So, Emily and Chakaruna, I have the sense you found yourself in what Anna was offering. Is that correct? Something you want to add?
Yeah, that I found myself in that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Emily.
Yeah, and for me, it is most likely, yeah, I'm not sure if so if I did sign up for this incarnation with desire to be here, and the desire to be in a space where there are a lot of things that would detract me, like the collective unconscious and materialism, from being one. This whole idea of this separation, that why would I hold my parents to a standard if they are regressing or unconsciously in the dream state, in the collective unconscious, and in the unconscious archetypes? So it's like I keep coming back to that, is that why can't I just love them and accept them rather than to blame them for what I signed up for, and then to realize that it's all, everything's radically okay, everything belongs,
Beautiful.
and then to surrender into resisting nothing. And so
Yes.
I would say that is the leader is calling me to grow up. It's like saying, look, you got all this material here, what else do you need? And I'm like, well, I don't really want to complain about this and that. And it's like,
Well,
okay.
the thing, Danielle, can you decide? You said you were a child, you decided to stop peeing the bed, and you remember deciding. So now you're a child and you're attached to a broken heart and to blaming your parents and to separation and all of that. Can you, at this moment, stop that? Can you stop it? Not in words, and including the words. Can you stop asking, why am I still flirting with separation when I should know better? Can you stop that?
I can make a decision.
Okay, then why aren't you? You see, the question we're looking at in discourse is the illusion of free will. Okay, we all would like to live in Beverly Hills with the perfect body, the perfect mate, the perfect mind. Who wouldn't? Choosing between fulfillment and despair, who wouldn't choose fulfillment? And the question we're looking at is, maybe you haven't wanted it enough to receive it. Maybe your involvement with that desire for enlightenment and leadership is still tainted by the story. Maybe that choice is not as crystal clear as the one you made when you were 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because if you could will it into being, you would. Wouldn't you?
Thus, the unconscious archetypes do not want to really be seen. They like to play in the dark.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael and Daniel. And thank you, everyone, to be doing this. Those are very confronting questions.
It's tough to feel. It's uncomfortable, especially with
Yes.
all the quote unquote good that I do.
Exactly. Exactly.